Like you go to them.
What do you think if there was the top 100 beer girls in the nation, the world, whatever? What do you think? What drives that? What makes you a good beer girl? Boobies?
Boobies.
Okay. Yep, let's go home.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Till 9, the weekly pod hosted by myself, Lord DIY, and boyfriend Jeremy.
Hey guys, boyfriend here.
Did you see in the last episode there was a caption that said something boyfriend? It wasn't what we said. It's like boyfriend responds.
Oh, like my name became boyfriend?
Like literally the caption person or caption computer man robot.
So could have been a woman.
The robot
Could have been non-binary.
Individual. The robot captioned individual who was responsible for, and he called you boyfriend. Anyway, welcome back to the pod.
Welcome back to the number 1 show in Latvia, Wild Till 9. Fun fact.
Oh, hit me with it.
Last week, we unveiled my painfully white genetic history.
I got a lot of DMs about this. I want to say about Balkans? Yeah, Balkans.
Yeah, I had no idea that 114% of our audience is from the Balkans.
I learned a lot.
Every time I feel like when we mention one thing in passing that we don't think has anything to do with our audience,
right?
1,000 people prove us wrong every time.
More than 1,000,
which I love.
I cannot believe how many messages that I received about Balkans. Is it the Balkans?
Yeah.
There's just so many countries that are in, anyway, so I know I can name about 4 cities. Like my geography is really, really rough. And I learned a lot.
On the top 1,000 list of things you're good at.
No. It would be on the very, very bottom. Also, I just want to say that I'm not wearing a lot of Wild Till 9 merch that's coming soon. Gonna be honest, actually, I probably just fucking got so many people excited. The blanket's not coming till fall. I'm sporting it and it's fine, but I want it better. And it takes a long time to make an okay blanket, a really good blanket. So that'll be coming by time. And it's what?
Nothing.
I'm passionate about the Wild Till 9 blanket.
No, I get it. Going back to it's just expensive to do business with both of us for completely different reasons.
No one wants a garbage sheet thin blanket. Jeremy.
Did I say that?
You're just saying that it's expensive to do business with me because I got high standards, but I just like nice blankets.
Okay. Yes. But also, fortunately for us, we work with 2 fucking rock stars at FanJoy.
We really do.
Chris, CEO Chris Fasserino, we love him. And Felicia fucks. She's amazing.
Yeah.
We're very good at emailing at 5:03 on Friday night or like having the most like very specific requests or whatever. And they're both just like,
stars
on it.
Yeah, stars. Anyway, so the blanket is being workshopped to be 900 times better. Like it looks cute on camera, but it's gonna be so much better. Just wait, get excited. Save your coin because the Wild Till 9 blanket is coming.
And by the time it gets here, it'll be fucking expensive because of how many samples Lauren has sent there, back. So make sure you have $400 for this blanket.
You're exaggerating, and I feel a little attacked about my passion for the blanket, but okay.
Well, listen,
sure.
I know that you love soft things. I'm not going to sit here and say you can't have them.
You know what, too? I just feel I'm excited.
What do you feel?
I'm just excited because I know that we have so many podcast pups, so many pod cats, so many pod parrots. I actually don't know if a parrot likes a blanket. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Could be wrong. We've got the pod hamsters, the pod guinea pigs. There's just
pod pigs.
Pod pigs.
Pod pigs, yeah.
Have we gotten a pod pig yet?
Yeah.
Have we?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I don't think I got.
His name is Moose. He's about a foot high, 3 feet wide.
Are you talking about our pod pig?
Our pod pig.
So anyway, I'm passionate about the blanket and I'm excited. But on a closer and more realistic note, I'm wearing Wild Till 9 sweaty pants. And hang on, the best part, I did a garbage job introducing these sweatpants. They're gray sweatpants. And obviously we have a predominantly female audience and they're super fucking cute. And like the goal was to make them cute. But we didn't not purposely choose them to be gray. So if you feel as if there is a what do we call it last week? A duck holder who might need
a platypus and a duck. Remember?
Yeah, but platypus is not. We're trying.
Well, you have you might have
I
a
have
platypus. Right.
I have a platypus. You have a duck.
Well,
Yes.
spoiler alert. Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So anyway, we are encouraging you to encourage the duck holders in your life to potentially have a little more gray sweatpant ween.
That's one of my teeth. Get here.
My eyesight is terrible. I don't think so. Are you kidding right now? It's also, you're not in focus.
No, I'm not. Guys, no, I think I'm good. We're fine.
You're also not on a mic either. It's just screaming
it's
out
fine.
of focus with teeth in
It's
the
fine.
camera.
Don't dare cut that. All right. Lauren, how was your week?
It was okay. So I'm doing this new thing where I, at the end of the day, rate my anxiety and just
yeah.
like overall mental state at the end of the day. And it's been like really interesting to see like what my triggers are, how many garbage days I can have in a row, which tends to be more than I think I do. But it's been okay. What did I do this week? I think I worked a lot this week. Oh, batch finale was on Monday.
Totally.
But yesterday I worked a shit ton. Same thing with today. Yeah, it's been fine. I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. It's not 2 episodes ago or 3 episodes ago when I was having when I was craft girl depressed.
Craft girl depressed. Yeah.
Craft girl depressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Busy as shit. 1,000 things going on. All for the most part really fucking good. So I'm not going to complain. But it's just like, if everyone could just space out these good things, that would be great.
I think also you do a poor job of taking care of your body.
I prioritize
Everything but
your
your body.
There are always people that are just like, I will sacrifice my body for the good of whatever it is.
No, that's so wrong.
Well, I understand, but I've always been like that.
Okay, well, bitch,
Like
you're 29 now. Figure it out. You got to put your body first. You can't get no sleep multiple days in a row. It's not cute. It's not a good look. No one likes that.
Okay. Well, it's all one big master plan for me to outwork myself too much and just have to settle down and be your pool boy for the rest of
If you
our
do
life?
that, you will die first.
What do you mean?
You'll literally die first.
Of what?
Overworking.
Well, I'll
People who have this mindset, this is dangerous because people who have this mindset are like, I just work hard because you can sleep when you're dead or sleep when you're retired or whatever.
Oh, I don't think that. It's just
No,
like
but you do. You do. You're like, you put it last because you need to work hard, but like you'll always have to work hard and you always will work hard. Take care of your body.
Are you done?
Take care of your body. I will scream it at you every single day.
I've got headphones on that is like amplifying your voice.
Take care of your body.
Take care of your
No. Stop. No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
All right. Anyway.
Unhappy with your smile? You do not have to be. Thousands of people have used Candid, the clear, comfortable, removable, and practically invisible aligners to help straighten their teeth. And now they love their smile. Just like one of our listeners, Cassie from Nashville, Tennessee. Once she started using Candid, her whole life improved. She started going to the gym more, eating healthier, and her dental hygiene improved. Her goal for her wedding was perfect teeth, and Candid helped her accomplish that.
Candid prescribes you a treatment that is closely monitored by a licensed orthodontist who's an expert in tooth movement. You'll have the same quality of care you'd get from an in-office orthodontist from the comfort and convenience of your own home. Lauren, if we had Candid 15 years ago when we were getting braces, this would have been the perfect product for us.
Oh my God, you don't even know. Actually, you do know.
Yeah, I definitely know.
Yeah, you know. So what makes Candid different from other companies is that instead of going through a dentist, Candid goes through orthodontist. You'll have the same orthodontist who created your plan watching over your progress throughout the entire process. Plus, the average Candid treatment is 6 months, which is nothing compared to the awkward 1.5 years that I had of braces.
1.5 years. That must have been nice. Become your best you. Start straightening your teeth today. Right now, you can save $75 on Candid Starter Kit. Go to candidco.com/wild and use code WILD. That's candidco.com/wild. Code WILD. Take advantage of this limited time offer to save $75 on your starter kit. candidco.com/wild. Code WILD. All right, guys, we all love a wellness brand, and staying healthy is key to a happy life. Care of makes it easy by providing a customized vitamin plan that helps you feel your best today and supports you long term. Get a personally tailored approach to your unique health needs by taking their online quiz, which is pretty much like having a one-on-one consult with a nutritionist. It asks you questions about your diet, lifestyle, and health concerns to help address your specific wellness goals, and it only takes 5 minutes.
I love my monthly Care of box because not only is it a cute addition to the counter, but it makes taking my vitamins so easy. With March being a Women's History Month, I want to take time to appreciate how this company caters to women's needs. You can always retake the quiz as your needs change, whether that be from pregnancy, hormone changes, or aging. Your vitamin packs can change with you.
As moms, partners, and business owners, women have a lot on their plate. Small routines like drinking a glass of water, taking your vitamins, or adding collagen to your morning coffee can go a long way in helping you prioritize your health and self-care. Plus, all of Care of's products are formulated with good-for-you, clean ingredients that are backed by science. Care of is super transparent about the research and sourcing behind each one of the products.
Take 50% off your Care of order. Go to takecareof.com and enter code WILD950. That's 50% off your first Care of order by going to takecareof.com and enter code WILD950. We want to help you feel your best.
I'm perplexed.
About what?
This week,
Okay.
right? Oh, and I don't know if it was because I mentioned Maya Angelou last week on the pod.
Yeah.
Who didn't know, who I'm so glad we get to introduce you to, because everyone in the pod, the comments was like, Maya Angelou, amazing, perfect, wonderful.
Okay.
I don't know if it was that inspired me to this, but I was sitting through a half a dozen interviews this week, interviewing people for a bunch of different roles. And I am curious to get your thoughts on someone who's hiring right now. I was waiting for no plug.
Oh, it's me. I'm hiring right now. I just still haven't accepted the fact that I'm hiring an employee, because that just feels like a very grown business thing to do, and it's a foreign feeling. I'm hiring right now. If you're wondering, so Vlog Channel has a whole video on it. Plug. But yeah, I'm hiring. I'm hiring.
When I said plug, I didn't mean to take over the entire thing, but yeah.
Oh well, fuck. Give an inch, take a mile.
So anyway, the point is, I was sitting through all these interviews this week and getting to just know people. And I feel and people that are listening to this might be able to relate or not. I feel like every single person who's trying to put their best foot forward, especially when they need something out of a conversation, ends up putting the last thing but their best foot forward always.
Interesting. Okay. Do you have an example for us?
Yeah, just people, getting nervous and not performing well. But before I get into examples, my question is, have you ever interviewed for a job?
Literally so many interviews.
What have you interviewed for?
I've been working since I was 15.
Okay.
I've interviewed so many times.
I don't know the answer to this question.
Yeah. Really? Okay. Here we go. Let me walk you through it. My first interview, so I would have been 15. So I just straight, we
Is
had
that
this
when you can work in Canada, 15?
No, it's 16.
Ooh,
yeah.
got it.
So we won't disclose the little ice cream shop that hired me and just paid me under the table for the first year of my employment.
Is that when you had massive forearms and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. If you've ever scooped ice cream, you finish that summer with a Hulk ass forearm
Lumberjack,
of your
forearms.
Lumberjack is nothing. Hulk, green Hulk, Mr. Hulk.
Okay.
Forearm from scooping ice cream.
I feel like we're digressing a little bit, but yeah.
Sure. Anyway, so how did we get here? Oh, you brought up the scooping muscle.
I didn't know you've ever interviewed for a job, and I just wanted, I've never.
Oh my God. I have interviewed for so many jobs. I've also had some massive interview flops as well.
Wait. Okay. I don't mean to get too much off of my script here, but I actually need to hear about these because have you told me?
No, we've never talked about this before.
Do tell.
Okay, so I've been interviewing for positions between the ages of 15 and probably 20. So the first interviews that I ever did were for ice cream places. We have this cute little old townsy area of my hometown called Port Dalhousie. Very, very cute. They had a bunch of different ice cream shops, and I don't know why my parents were yes, this is the place that will hire you illegally. And I was like, yeah, mom, let's fucking go. $8 an hour. Let's go, baby. Actually, it might even be less than that. It might have been $7.50 under the table. So who knows? And
it's nice that they, did minimum wage, even though it was illegal in the first place. I mean, they could have paid you $4.
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been close to minimum wage. Yeah, it definitely wasn't $4.
Right.
And it was a very flat, even number to make it easy to just
For
pay
math.
me out for
Like,
math
how many
purposes.
hours?
Yes,
Here.
yes, yes. Hands a wad of cash at the end of the day. And so my parents sent me in to interview at all of these ice cream places. Eventually got a call back, got one. My first day on the job at this ice cream place, age 15, never had a job before in my entire life. So we have these little cone racks, okay, on top of like the ice cream storage containers.
That like display the cones.
The cones, yeah.
They kind of just sit out in the open, right?
They 100% sit on the open. But I will say that like in the summer when you're serving a shit ton of ice cream, like you go through them really quickly. You just maybe wouldn't leave them out overnight because waffle cones absorb a lot of moisture and get really soggy really quick. Because I am an ice cream scooping connoisseur, obviously. So there's this ice cream cone rack holder that sits on top of it. And the first task that I had been given on my first day at this job was to just like refill the cones.
Got it.
And I'm probably 5 foot at the time of this at 15. Like
You're 15. You're fully grown.
no, I was like a super maybe 5'2".
Really?
I was small. I didn't get my period till grade 10.
A baby.
A little baby.
Yeah.
A little peanut. And so anyway, I'm what?
Peanut?
I'm a little peanut.
I get it.
Yeah. So I'm refilling this cone thing, and I don't know if it was someone that walked behind me. I really think it was just a customer walking in and being like, hi, and me just like being so fucking scared shitless on my first day of work. I've got a stack of like 20 cones in my hand, sugar cones, like the most expensive ones.
Premium
upsell. The waffle cone, people think it's the most expensive, but it's actually the sugar cone. So someone walks in and
Shout out sugar cones.
Someone walks in and like just addresses me, like doesn't do anything scary.
Oh, yeah, but you're not really good with that.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
Hey, Lauren.
And I'm just, I'm just like perpetually on edge and like about to be scared at any moment. So it's the smallest thing that can throw me off.
Right.
And so they address me.
And not to mention you were handling premium merchandise.
At age 15. It's a mess. And so they address me. I like flinch and launch 20 fucking cones across this entire ice cream shop. Just straight. It was like out of a movie. They all come out. They crash down. They smash everywhere. This is my first 10 minutes of working, of my first job, my entire life.
First 10 minutes.
Yeah. It was my first task, my first customer. And they didn't fire me. They kept me on. Things only went up from there.
But isn't it like classic when you're in scenarios like that you're like new at?
Yeah.
You just lose all motor skills and become like, how did I get into this scenario?
Oh, I mean, I'm clumsy when I'm at my most confident. So it's like take me out of my comfort zone and I'm barely functioning on the brink of not functioning.
But you got the job.
Got the job. Did that for a year. And then I was like, ooh, I got ice cream scooping expertise now.
Okay.
And then when I was 16, do you really want me to recap all of this?
The interesting
there's
ones.
A lot. Okay. I worked at another ice cream place for another summer. I don't know why I kept getting these ice cream jobs. It's not even like we had, like we're not like fucking in Vermont, like the ice cream capital or anything.
Well, also you're really lactose intolerant.
You know what? I almost feel as if working at all these ice cream places and eating so much ice cream made me lactose intolerant.
I don't think that's how that works.
Anyways, I could put down a lot of ice cream when I was
I believe that.
16 and 17. So yeah, worked at another ice cream place and he also paid us under the table. So I would have been 17 or I would have been 17. It was the summer before I moved away for university. And he like wouldn't pay us for like multiple weeks. And I would be like, hey, I have to start paying for textbooks and like tuition. Like, can I get paid? He'd literally go downstairs, come back up with a fucking wad of just like 20s, 50s, or 100s and give you like, I don't know, however much I'd made over a month's time.
But like no statement, just
no
here's
statement,
your money?
just a wad of money. And it was like a super like safe touristy area. It's called Niagara on the Lake. And so it was like really cute and like it was fine. But I mean like at 17, if you're holding $2,500, it's more money than I'd ever seen in my entire life.
You have to work a long time to make $2,500.
You have to work a long time and also not get paid for a really long time to make that much money.
To be fair though, that's probably the best way to save money by not being given the money that you already earned.
Tom was doing me a favor.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it at
It's
the
like
time.
my money guy who insists on pulling money out the day I get paid. Don't let that shit wait a day or two. He's like, and we'll pull it out this day.
That's a great tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
didn't like that at the beginning, Michael. I know we fought about that.
I feel like you still don't like it really that much.
I don't like it at all. Well, I just feel like it's like my just paycheck just dudes every single time. It's like, well, I could buy so many things with that money.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be buying things. You let Michael do his thing.
Michael is doing his thing.
Michael do his thing. Let him do his thing.
Anyway, shout out Baird.
So yeah, I would sprint at 10 p.m. when our ice cream place closed with a wad of cash to my car. And then I would,
safe.
Super safe. And I would just, I had run track and cross country. And so I would just use those skills and just fucking book it to the car and wish for the best. Never got like mugged or anything. I honestly probably had no reason to be scared, but it just like, it felt like too much responsibility being in charge of that much cash at one time.
I don't know if I've ever been paid in cash ever for any job I've ever worked.
I've oddly been paid a lot in cash. Now that I'm looking back on it. Yeah. Oh, that's not true. So 2 jobs. And then when you're a server, you take home a shit ton of cash, but that's not, that's legal.
Right. Well, it's also, you're supposed to do your own books on it too. I'm sure you paid taxes.
I'm sure I paid taxes on all my tips.
Okay, got it. What was the most difficult, awkward, weird? Weren't you an intern one time?
Yeah, I was an intern once. That was a weird situation though, because when I was starting my YouTube channel, they hired me for the position thinking that I think I would use my YouTube platform to promote what they were doing.
Yeah.
And so we had to have like a weird sit down halfway through the internship to be like, hey, this is not the expectation. And like, I had to do these hours to graduate. And so I was like, I need to finish this. And like, I have expertise in this area. So like I can help. But it was a weird situation. I can't remember if I interviewed for that. I must have. I've been to an odd amount. Sorry, am I rambling?
No, I'm just like, I guess when I asked this question, I thought you were going to have about 2 things to say.
I have a lot to say.
You're proving me wrong. I'm glad.
I've done so many job fairs for some reason.
Job fairs?
Job fairs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. So one of them, we had a new grocery store opening up in St. Catharines, my hometown, which was like a big fucking deal.
Well, the grocery store sparked how many relationships?
All of them.
Well, I'm here.
2 out of 4.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 2 out of 4.
Yeah. So if whatever 50%. Happens with us, you'll go get a job at Ralph's?
I will, yeah.
Or maybe even Gelson's.
Maybe even Whole Foods. Who knows?
Let's not get on
Pavilions? I don't know. Who knows?
Okay. Erewhon.
So there was, you know what? I don't know if I'd vibe with someone who worked at Erewhon.
There are probably some really nice people that work at Erewhon.
I'm sure there's some really nice people
who work at Erewhon. This conversation applies to 7 people. Sorry, guys.
So there was a job fair for this new grocery store opening up. Everyone was very excited. What?
The job fair for a grocery store?
Well, yeah, because they had to staff the whole thing. So it was like they needed full departments of people. They needed management.
I don't know if I've ever been to a job fair, actually.
I've been to so many.
What is a job fair?
So oh my God, I feel like I've like blacked this out of my memory because it makes me so nervous and like kind of traumatic because I just like I'm a stressed individual. So you go in and you do like your preliminary interviews and you hand them your resume and then they advance certain people that like I can't remember how they advance you.
I mean, you're describing rush week for fraternities and sororities.
Right. Yeah. So basically that, but like there's money at the end of it and like less hazing trauma.
Well, that's the grocery store.
Well, it depends on the grocery store. You're right. And I can't remember if you go home and they call you to tell you that you've advanced, but I think you stay. They give you some kind of paperwork or like fucking sticker or stamp of approval to be like, you've made it to the next round. And so then you go back out into the hall, you grab a seat, you just like hang, you wait, and then you somehow get like the next round. And then you go one more round, and then I think they call you to tell you if you got the job or not. And I remember that I went to the job fair with both of my cousins and also half of the fucking city. So like everyone from my high school was there. So it was like kind of
everyone's
a flex.
Parents said, no, you're going to go.
No, you're going to go and get a job there. Yeah. So it was like kind of a flex to like get advanced because everyone was kind of vying for these positions.
Right.
So that was one job fair that ended up being pretty great. I worked that job for 3 years. Like during high school, I was like a cashier and then I got to be like the front end, like the self-checkout and got to just like press the little buttons and clear the things.
Yep.
Got to do that.
I feel like that would be, you would see people at their absolute dumbest.
You have no idea.
Because even, I feel like the amount of times I've like gone and done that myself and I'm like, I work in tech for a living.
Yeah.
You don't know where the fuck. And like,
you know what,
the scale, the this, the that.
I'm not kidding. If you put a fucking plastic bag down on like the weight side, yes.
Terrible.
Yes. You know what? It's not even the public's fault. Like there's flaws on both sides for sure. Like don't get me wrong. Sometimes people are really fucking stupid and you're just like, I don't make enough money to do this. And they also like, when that first started rolling out, people like they encouraged you to like drag people over there And like they wanted to get people out of the lines of the regular cashiers and
Yeah.
drag them over there. And then it's just hell on earth. It's hell on earth.
I will say my mother's the queen of, ma'am, we can help you at self-checkout. No, you won't.
Oh yeah, Donna would not like that.
Not interested.
Donna would not like that.
It's a pretty long wait. I'll wait.
No, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll
In
wait.
fact, I factored in time for this grocery store.
And when someone wants to put in a fucking coupon on the self-checkout, oh, bitch, Lord help me. It is, you just can't. You can't. It's like, no, sorry, you can't.
No
This
coupons?
coupon, no coupon for you. No discount, no coupon for you.
Okay, so you stayed at the grocery store for 3 years?
Yeah, I was at the grocery store for 3 years. I worked that job and at my music conservatory teaching kids piano and guitar. So I did that one once a week on like a school night. And then I did the grocery store part-time as well, a few times a week as well.
Wow.
Bitch, I've been hustling since 15. I'm not kidding. I've been working like actually, when I was in university, I didn't work during the semester. I would just bust ass and work 60-hour like work weeks in the summer.
At the Tilted Kilt of Canada?
Yes, the Tilted Kilt of Canada. It's called, you know what though, this wasn't a chain. They had 2 locations. It's called the Kilt and Clover.
And what was it? Do you have the outfit still?
No, I don't have the outfit still, you nasty.
What?
Now that I look back at like the work uniforms of the serving jobs, the first one at Shoeless Joe's, oh my God, I have an interview story for that one.
For the Tonely fans.
Yeah, well, oh wait, I took you to Shoeless Joe's. Remember we got a drink there once? It was in the casino in Niagara Falls.
I guess I remember.
Yeah.
The stairs.
With the stairs. Oh my God. So this place that I worked at, I'm so sorry. You haven't even spoke this entire time.
No, this is great.
So this restaurant, the first restaurant I ever worked at, I started hosting for a year and then I served the next summer. So there was 2 floors. The first floor had the bar. The second floor had the kitchen. So whether your section was on the first floor or the second floor, you were doing exactly
Hitting them stairs.
27 stairs the entire fucking night, because it's not like people aren't going to get food or not going to get beverages. Like even if someone wanted a pop, you were doing those 27 stairs for a fucking kitty cup of pop.
Half the world just broke their
soda
neck.
pop.
And listen, I'm a pop guy, soda guy, Coke, whatever. But half the world is very opinionated.
Soda pop, Coke, soda.
Comment below with your favorite pop or soda.
What do you say?
Let us know. Georgia. Then it's going to be, I want a Coca-Cola. What kind of Coca-Cola? A Pepsi. Dumb.
You know what? Coca-Cola really did a great job there of just bulldozing that entire marketplace. Yeah, I love that for them. But so when I interviewed for that job and that summer specifically, my mom drove me around we also have like an area around my hometown that does like tons of wineries. And for some reason she thought that I'd be great on, I have another story after this. Oh my God. I have so many things to say. I can't believe we've never talked about this before.
Hey, just text me when you're done and I'll just be.
This is just a solo podcast episode. I promise I've got like 3 stories and then it's your turn.
That's it. Go ahead.
So one, interview little blunder. So one had like dropped off all these resumes at wineries. The wineries didn't want me. I don't know why. A little sad about it, a little offended.
Well, if you want to call them out right now, who didn't hire Lord DIY?
Literally all of them.
You want to count any by name?
I can't think of a single one.
It's because they're not memorable.
Yeah, well, I will say that at 18, I was drinking mostly shitty vodka or like a wine cooler and really didn't know anything about wine. So I probably realistically would not have been an asset there.
Yeah. Your wine knowledge today is not something that I would necessarily.
It's rough.
That list of 1,000 things you're really good at?
That's not on there.
Wouldn't be on that 1,000?
Not on there.
Yeah.
It's not on
I'm
there.
not sure what number we'd have to get down to before it's like your viticulture.
Yeah. It's not on there.
Viticulture?
I think it's viticulture.
Yeah.
One of the jobs that I wanted so bad that I never got, and I really think it's because I didn't have boobies, is that I wanted to be a golf cart bar girl so bad. So bad.
You needed boobies?
I think I needed boobies. I really think that I needed boobies. And I tried so hard to be a golf cart beer girl. I think they serve more than beer.
I really wish I had my futurist female. Futurist female?
Your futurist female mug here today.
Yeah.
I just had so many friends that had so much fun doing it. They made bank. They got to drive around the little cart and just like go from person to person. What?
I just remembered that I wanted to get a job as a caddy and I didn't get hired.
Babe, do we need to go live out this? Yeah, we need to go do this. Obviously.
I wonder if anyone's hiring any caddy positions.
I mean, I'm a pretty good server. I still don't have boobies, which is maybe still like the
right. Also, I don't want to really carry the clubs either.
Maybe this isn't for us.
Well, like maybe I could just drive the cart?
No, but I drive the cart because I'm the beer girl.
The beer girl drives the cart?
Yeah, who else would drive the cart? You get to drive all of the snacks to all of the different golfers. Like you go to them.
What do you think if there was the top 100 beer girls in the nation, the world, whatever? What do you think? What drives that? What makes you a good beer girl? Boobies?
Boobies.
Okay.
No, I have no idea. Honestly, it just feels like
What
such
about
a...
butt cheeks?
Buddy cheeks are good too, but I think buddy cheeks are in the golf cart. They're smushed. But I think boobies are... This is the most heterosexually disgusting conversation ever. Yeah. I'm so sorry. It just felt like a more appealing job versus being a server, because when you're a server, you are just overworked into the ground and you're always behind. Whereas like if you're a beer cart girl, you're going to the customer versus having 10 customers screaming at you. And it seemed very peaceful.
Also, supply and demand. You're the only one serving that vicinity.
You're the only one serving that vicinity. And the drunker people get, the more they tip you. I guess that's the same in a restaurant as well.
Right.
Okay, but the interview blunder that I made at this first restaurant that had the 27 stairs was they were interviewing me and they were like, what do you know about the restaurant? And my dumbass had dropped off a resume like 6 seconds before. He was like, hey, I actually have time right now. And I was like, oh my God, fuck. I've just handed out 45 resumes. Like I know nothing about this place. I know literally zero things, which is the number one thing that you don't go into an interview not knowing, is knowing anything about the place that you're interviewing for.
Okay.
And so I called it, I was like, oh, it's like a sports bar. And he fucking stopped me right there, like dead in my tracks. And I was like, because I don't know, 17. I was 17 because I was trying to be a host.
Right. Meanwhile, I want to remind everyone that she also did when someone walked in to the place of business that she was working.
Yeah. So I went, and then the mini really quick hyperventilation. And he was like, we are not a sports bar. And I was like, okay, what are you then? What do you mean when you're in a sports bar? I was like, you've got a boxing poster for UFC over here. What do you mean? And he was like, we are a family-friendly restaurant, or no, family-friendly food establishment.
He sounds like he's like trying to evade a certain type of tax.
Okay,
kind of shit.
yes. And then when I got the job, what was I in? Fucking Lululemon, tight sportswear spandex. I'm like, bitch, you tell me that we're not a sports bar right now as I serve these like predominantly male customers who are here to watch UFC. Bitch. Just because we have a kids menu doesn't mean it's a family-friendly establishment.
Okay. So you made it not family-friendly?
I don't think it was family-friendly.
What about you's not family-friendly?
Oh, about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm family-friendly.
Back to my point. So you were at a sports bar. It wasn't family-friendly, but it was like implied not family-friendly. There was something for everybody there. Like everyone could go, but like dad or mom had some wandering eyes.
Yes.
Were there attractive men working there as well?
No.
Got it.
That's what made it not family-friendly, actually. There's the telltale sign right there. It's just...
I wonder if, and this is obviously, once things open back up again, I wonder if Hooters is going to survive the next 10 years.
I think Hooters will always survive. Our next sponsor is one that is special to me and is something I truly believe we could all use in our lives. If you are caught up on all of our episodes a few weeks ago, you know that I had a really, really tough week. To say that I've been on an emotional roller coaster would be an understatement, but BetterHelp has been a really helpful tool for me. BetterHelp is professional counseling done securely online. It's not self-help and it's not a crisis line. It's a service that connects you with a professional counselor to help you with your specific needs.
With BetterHelp, you can contact your counselor at any time of day via the online messenger. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. And you can start communicating with your counselor in just 48 hours.
The service is available worldwide, and they offer financial aid for those who need it. BetterHelp is cheaper than most services, and it allows you to get the help you need without having to wait in an uncomfortable waiting room. Their licensed professional counselors specialize in a range of needs such as depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBTQIA+ matters, grief, and self-esteem.
We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/WT9. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's betterhelp, HELP.com/WT9.
Our next sponsor is the creator of All Things Cozy, which you guys know is literally the only thing that I care about when it comes to clothes. Jenni Kayne is creating timeless classics and inviting neutrals that focus on comfort without sacrificing style. I personally always choose comfort over style, but with Jenni Kayne, I don't have to. I recently ordered a pair of slippers that have not left my feet all month.
That's not true. I tried them on this morning. Didn't fit, but comfortable.
But comfortable?
Yeah. There are pics of that too. It's been pretty rainy and cold recently in LA, and Jenni Kayne's sweaters have come in handy in this gloomier than usual LA weather. The sweaters are lightweight and luxe. And I mean like luxe. Like it's crazy nice. But that makes it even easier to layer. It's great for when I feel like putting on something other than the hoodie I slept in the night before.
Jenni Kayne has curated pieces that allow you to look and feel your best no matter your mood or destination. Even though ours happens to be the couch most of the time, it feels good to look good. You might already have a favorite cashmere sweater or well-worn pair of boots, but if it doesn't make you say, I'll never take this off, it isn't Jenni Kayne. Fill your wardrobe with cozy essentials and check out Jenni Kayne.
Find your forever pieces at jennikayne.com and get 15% off your first order when you use code WILD at checkout. That's JENNIKAYNE.com, promo code WILD.
Someone on my Instagram the other day was like, wow, like your left boob's like way bigger, right? It's a shirt where I had it was like a satin top that like you cannot wear a bra with, and it like wraps around. So there's a little bit of under boob action. For someone who has no boob, there was a little bit of under boob.
Got it.
Anyway,
someone like situation?
Little smush situation, exactly. It's not under boob. Don't get it mixed up. And someone clocked that my left boob was bigger, which it fully is. We all know it.
I don't think we all know.
Well, everyone does after that person clocked it on Instagram. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, this photo absolutely is an accurate depiction of my left boob being bigger.
At least we know you're not over here just photoshopping the right one to look bigger.
That's true.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, that could have been a bad Facetune for sure.
So the point I wanted to get at about 35 minutes ago that you actually helped prove quite well.
Okay.
And the reason that like I'm on this fucking like kick right now because I'm so dead set on trying to figure out why it is that we do this. Hiring and like that fucking just judgmental process is the most dehumanizing way to assess value of many of the things or any of the things we do in fucking society.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
It is the most. The reason I say that is it's like 6 people last week were interviewing for this fucking job, and it's a very important role, and it's like one that is like kind of unique in the sense you have to have like the right experience, the right this. Anyway, long story short is like after you fucking like see how people like present themselves, it's crazy to me because like they're so should I go through my resume or what do you want me to start? And this is it's just like, hey, my name is Jeremy. What was yours again? Start where you'd like. And it's like seeing people's fucking just brains go, I don't know where to start. It's like we've scared people.
Though.
We've scared people so much that they can't just be themselves. They think they have to be some fucking thing that's beyond that. That's wrong.
I just feel like there's so much pressure though when people want something really bad.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's like, and you just try so hard because you want it so bad. And I think also because like the interviewing process is somewhat traditional and like you kind of know how it's going to flow, but sometimes you don't. And there's not like a specific like step 1, step 2, step 3 type of process that you can always prepare for. And it's like how one of the questions in an interview is always like, do you have any questions? And like the rule of thumb is that you need to have a question to ask. Like, so you can kind of prepare for like dumb things like that. But other than that, like it's kind of like just a Wild West shit show out there.
I mean, I agree. But I'd like to think that the reason that I've had any success at all is that I've looked at all of those scenarios and gone, what's everybody else going to say? Let's make sure not to do that.
I was the complete opposite.
Right.
Complete opposite.
Let's just do all the things that people expect and want me to do.
Yeah, but I think that I am a pretty warm individual. So even if I'm saying the same thing of being like, I'm a team worker, I'm independent, I'm driven,
right.
I am willing to learn.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like the personality behind the delivery I was good at. Because I can say the classic shit like that I'm driven, but like you can do it in a way that, you know, once you read the EQ of the person that you're delivering it to, that will read well. So like I would deliver that differently towards a 21-year-old female and a 45-year-old female.
Right.
And so I think there's like skill to that as well.
I guess, but like as someone who likes to be outside of the box in your actual real world life, like why would you go so far the other way to get a job that, you know, probably it's okay for you to be creative?
Yeah. I mean, no, you're totally right. I will say that when I'm hiring for like the creative position that I'm trying to fill like on my team, it's been really interesting to see how people approach even just like the initial email.
Well, part of the reason I wanted to like chat about this, like the amount of like my DMs are filled with like two things. Can you tell Lauren? And then something, or like, how would you approach, like it's Lauren or give me business advice.
Yeah.
And the business advice is usually like, how do I get started?
Right.
Like if I could count the amount of times I've been asked, how do I get started?
Right.
It would be almost as many as, can you tell Lauren I like her sneakers?
Okay. So how do you get started?
Well, first I'd tell you I like your sneakers.
Okay. Thank you so much. You actually don't usually like my sneakers.
Yeah. But if I told you that I like your sneakers, you want to talk about it.
No, if you said that you like my sneakers, I'd be like, no, you fucking don't. Move on.
Okay. Anyway, before I make this about me, although we probably should.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay, but my question first before I hop into that. Like,
okay.
You're hiring. What are you looking for?
I mean, this is like kind of there's definitely like job requirements and a job description that I've loosely positioned.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's kind of just like a creative producer assistant role. And so it's someone that's going to have to wear a lot of creative hats. And that's why it's difficult to just like slap a title on it.
Right.
So it's like, I don't need a photographer, but I need someone to help me take photos with my iPhone.
Right.
I don't need a videographer.
Well, I'm right here, babe.
I am not kidding. I've downloaded so many different like self-timer apps so that I can fire you from your job of Instagram boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Rude.
You hate taking photos. You hate it. So
I do.
You're welcome for the initiative that I took there.
I do.
So yeah, I need someone to like help me capture video, but I don't need someone that can work a gimbal and understand ISO and shutter speed and aperture. What?
Okay, nerd.
Okay, well, it's just part of my job, but like they don't need to know that.
Because you know that.
Yeah, because I know that, and like realistically, like we don't usually need to know that. So it's I don't know, and so that's like part of the interesting process of like seeing the applications come in is that it's interesting to see the creative liberties that people have taken even in the application process to set their email apart.
Like what?
Well, one of the ones to not do that I saw today was, "Hi, Laura, really excited about the opportunity." And I'm like, if you don't have the initiative to know what my name is, straight to the trash.
Right, but what about this? What if someone had said, "Hi, Laura, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan ever," and then below that go, "I'm just kidding. I know you're like your pet peeve," and then goes into it?
Oh, that's fucking funny.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Right. Everyone else is zigging, you're zagging.
Yeah, zag away.
Exactly.
She called me Laura within the cover letter, within the email, within the address. Yeah, it was yeah.
The amount of effort that person probably went through to put all that together.
And then you fuck the name up?
Yeah.
I had one that was really cute and kind of endearing.
At least you know it wasn't a bot.
No,
because if it was a bot, it would have been insert first name.
You're right, insert first name.
Yeah.
You would have loved this one. It was, "Hi, I'm this many years old, and I'm an Aquarius."
Hire them.
I read that and I was like, Jeremy would love this one. They would love this one.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up not being like the right fit, but I was like, this would have been perfect for the right person who loves this.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy.
I just like, maybe I'm weird. I'm definitely weird, but I wish people did this more. The last time I interviewed, and a lot of the times I've interviewed, as opposed to starting out with like my best foot, I will make a joke about the worst one.
But that's still putting your best foot forward just in like a weird salesy way.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it helps you control the situation, the scenario. Like I think like people are just so scared to be a thing that they're not, and so scared to not let the thing that they don't want to shine through come through that they let it control them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I also think, again, like so much pressure being on like when you want something so bad. I think people are also scared that if they take a creative liberty, like cracking a joke at the beginning and it doesn't land, then it'll just like the whole interview will be a wash and then they lose that opportunity. So people are scared to have that moment that might like capture the attention, because people who interview, especially at like things like these job fairs, like they're doing it for 8 hours a day and they're fucking bored.
Yeah, but like that exactly. To me, that's why I think this like farm system of like bringing people in like livestock and like getting their
I was a livestock.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's not how people connect.
Oh, no. I understand like in that environment when you have to fill a shit ton of positions in a short amount of time for like a new establishment, like maybe that is the most efficient for them.
Totally.
But I think maybe for creative industries, it's just very different.
I mean, I'll always remember when I first came out to LA, didn't really know anybody, was a college dropout, had no money, didn't really have a plan. I remember I got dressed up in the nicest suit that I like owned. and I would go to stores that like I would be interested in, maybe like not like working there, but like doing like if they wanted like some sort of consulting for marketing or anything that would like pay the bill. I would literally call it door marketing, meaning that if it walked through that door, I would figure out something to sell to or with. So like if there was a store owner and that person sold shoes, shit, I'll help you sell some shoes. If they're in the grocery business, great. I'll optimize your day. I was trying to figure out any way to put food in my mouth. Right. So I would literally get dressed up head to toe and wait for the most highest ranking person I could at least try and figure out to come over and ask me if I needed help there. Mm-hmm. And then I would say, oh no, I'm just killing time waiting for a meeting. And a lot of the time, because they're trying to sell me something, they'll ask about said meeting.
Right.
And then I'll pretend as if I have some fucking meeting in marketing or whatever kind of thing to get them talking about it. And you would be shocked the amount of people that are like, well, so who do you work with? Well, how do you do that? Whatever kind of thing. And I completely fucking made it up. Don't get me wrong. But I made the story of the thing that I actually wanted to do for them. And half the time they go, would you be interested in maybe talking about doing that for us? And you'd be fucking shocked how often that worked.
But that's like genius. That's so smart and so
lying,
creative. Well,
but yes.
But the creativity, a creative liberty.
I mean, to me, the fake it till you make it, there has to be a line there.
But I do truly believe in the fake it till you make it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think everyone's saying they fake it to make it. Some people just have the ability to do that with a degree that, you know, they or their family or somebody else paid for, and they had the time and the luxury to not have to go get a job, and they're just faking it in college until they fake it kind of out in the real world, and then they fake it and finally get an opportunity.
Yeah.
Or just get your hands dirty and hop out into the job field as soon as you need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's only one way to learn.
Yeah, but like I just think that like my point here and my issue is just like I am aggravated by the lack of empathy we still fucking have after the last year of this whirlwind of shit that's been going on in the world. Like, how have we still not figured out how to not treat people like shit?
Is that towards hiring or a broader statement?
Well, it's time of hiring, but it's a broader statement.
Yeah. I mean, this was, I think, a really, really tough year for everyone. Like, I think every single person was affected by it in some way. And if there is a time that anyone needs more kindness in their life, it is now. Yeah. It is literally now. And I think hopefully like some people learned more empathy. But I don't know.
Agreed. My next thing that I have to ask about is, in terms of for you.
I feel like I'm in a job interview right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Really? Should we interview? What are you ashamed of?
What am I ashamed of in like my life?
Yeah.
I mean, my YouTube channel from ages 2011 to 2018.
Okay.
I'm ashamed of some of the subtweets that I've tweeted out in the past. I am ashamed.
Ditto. For your subtweets.
Someone asked me a question the other day on like, I was doing like a Clubhouse interview and they're like, what would you change? Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, fucking what I had for breakfast. Like nothing. I don't want to change anything. Like I love where I am now. And if you changed one thing 4 years ago, that could set off your entire career path. But what am I ashamed of? Oh, fuck, this is a hard question. I am buying time in my brain to think of what I'm ashamed of. What are you ashamed of?
What am I ashamed of?
Yeah.
All the things I'm ashamed of, well, no, the things that come to mind, or the things that I'm probably not even able to put into words with you or on this podcast or even to myself, are all the things that I realized at some point and wish I could take back, but it was too late. So it's just like the words I choose, the words I chose to say when I didn't need to say them, the actions that I chose to go forward with that weren't necessary, the things that were very much like, unfortunately, I'm not someone who's smart enough to figure out why to not do something until I've done it wrong 17 times.
Right.
And so I just feel bad for those 17 people that had to experience that along the way.
Well, we talked about this in the last week's podcast about how you had a moment like 5 years ago where you were not super nice to people in the customer service industry.
Yeah, that cut kind of got taken out of the context as if I was like just like blasé about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not blasé about it.
No, I know.
Anyway, like I said, my shame comes from not being able to figure it out sooner.
I mean, I don't think there's shame in that. I think there's...
I have shame in that.
Okay. Well, I don't think you need to.
Well, I don't need to. I shouldn't. But at the end of the day, like those are the things that like, if someone were to, do you remember that time? And like walk me through a thing that happened that I don't even remember. It's just like, fuck, I'm so sorry that that's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
That is totally my fault that I'll never be able to make right.
Yeah. My brain still has not come up with a lot. I think it's probably because it's also like 11 p.m.
I think it's probably because like the only child syndrome is really kicking in right now.
Bitch, you're an only child too. What the fuck do you mean?
I know.
I will say one of the more recent things that I'm ashamed of is not feel just like the amount of imposter syndrome that I have and the feeling of not feeling deserving of being in a room that's just like filled with like male execs or whatever. I think that's something that I still struggle with, and I'm not proud of the lack of advancements that I've made, even though I've accomplished so many things that I should be proud of and should make me feel like I deserve to be in the rooms that I'm in. But it's a work in progress.
You said male.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
What's up?
You just feel there's just like a sense of safety when there's a boss ass woman in the room, because like the stats don't lie. Like the majority of execs are white males, and when there's a female in the room and who's like 45 years old, you're like, bitch, like you've been done it. Like you've gone through some shit. Like even, when they were getting into the industry 25 years ago, it's like obviously they had to fight harder to be at the table now. So when you see someone who's like paved the path for you too, I'm like, damn bitch, you're a boss ass bitch.
But don't you realize that that's the way that a lot of people look at you?
Totally. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's why like I'm like so ashamed to like still struggle with this, because I've probably made so many advancements for the younger generation, just like doing what I've done. But I'm sure it's the same way. Maybe the woman above me feels like that, it's like so hard to say. But yeah, it's just and I think Clubhouse is one of the apps that has made me feel that the most recently. So just being, on a panel with predominantly white males, and I'm like the only female speaking to being a creator in a room full of all these different other execs. And it's the most recent that I've been like, 1, I don't deserve to be here. 2, oh my God, I'm the only female. And 3, with just like, what the fuck in general is going on? Why do I feel like this? Why is this happening? And like, should I be feeling like this?
At risk of getting too, not even political, but fuck the risk. I am always interested when I go onto a tangent of how I think that I got where I am, and always go back to the fact that, did I graduate from college? No. Did I have any money from family? No. Did I have all these things that I think it's easy to go, all things I didn't have? Sure. I'm sure we could get a laundry list of things that of privileges that I didn't have, that I could like go and like say, oh, whatever. But at the end of the day, no one ever turned me down from a conversation.
Right.
Every time I walked into a place, I took for granted they're going to give me the time of day.
Right.
Because they think I'm going to buy something or whatever.
Right.
I think I had my own struggles and challenges. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I would be half as far along if I didn't have the ungodly amount of privilege that I just woke up every day with,
right,
without having to do anything for it at all.
Yeah, 100%. There's this trend right now on TikTok, and it's like, tell me you have pretty privilege without telling me you have pretty privilege. And it's all these like crazy stories about just like...
To be fair, I wasn't about pretty privilege.
I was talking about you having pretty privilege.
That was not the privilege I was talking about.
I mean, I that's not the main one, but I think it is one of them.
I'm more than... Okay, go on.
Anyway, the TikTok trend is just like all these like hot ass girls saying like how much free shit they get. There's also an app apparently that I think I favorited it so I can find it. But there's apparently an app where if you're just like a hot girl, you can sign up for this app, and it has a list of all these things that you can do for free or with a massive discount code if you just post about it. And it's not for influencers, it's for hot girls. Because some of these brands want to be associated with hot girls posting about their brand. So even if someone only has like 1,000 followers and they're just like, they're a hot college girl, like that person might have more influence than, a micro influencer who's got 20,000 followers. And then that hot college girl will get hella free shit.
As a society, we've come so far and have so far to go.
It's just so far to go.
What the fuck? But also back then, remember Hot or Not? Remember?
Oh my, literally Hot or Not was like, it felt so normal to rate whether someone was hot or not.
Totally. And that was just like, but that's the kind of shit that fortunately I think feels like it's kind of more in focus now. Yeah. Whereas it didn't seem like it was out of the norm like not that long ago.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like you hear this shit and it's like, it's the same shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally. For sure.
No, I'm in my feelings this week,
I know,
but
I
in
see
a different
that.
way about just like, I wish that people could get out of their own way, because I don't think we are born and automatically think that people around us know better, can do better, are just like better off, whatever. I don't think that I think that as a society, we do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a real fine balance between being overly cocky and confident and in your face and taking away from somebody else by being bold and being so understated that you never say what you want to say.
Yeah. I think that's all I
And
heard.
so just like, I look at the comments and people that are talking about it, really connecting with it. And it's just like, people are so scared to get started and like think that anybody else has the answer for how to be them. And like, I don't care who it is. The answer is whatever it is that you want and can do to, do work, fun, play, hobby kind of thing. Start there.
I mean, 100%. It's the same question of like, how do I start a YouTube channel? And it's just start.
Right. Fail. And then fail faster, and then fail faster, and then fail less, and then don't fail at all, and then succeed, and then replicate that.
Oh my God, that was stressful. Yeah, all of that.
But it's true. People are so worried about trying to be like fucking perfect. They don't realize that like good enough actually is good enough.
Good enough. Ryerson, good enough.
There we go.
Good enough.
Shboob, are you so excited for daylight savings time and not having to fucking be in the dark at 5 o'clock at night?
Literally so much. I will say, losing an hour makes me really fucking sad. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But now that my body has adjusted and my body's not so mad at the world right now, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Big fan?
Yeah. I think that I would just like to just not have daylight savings whatsoever and we just stay like this all the year round. But personal preference.
I mean, I think that personally, I would rather stay light all the time. Elon, if you could like figure that out, that would be great.
Okay.
Did you want to give any more investment advice to this pod?
No. Invest in the gray sweatpants that are coming soon.
When are those coming out?
I don't know, a couple weeks. So here's my other thing too, is that we've got all these gray sweatpants. So I'm like, do we like the gray sweatpant ween? Do we get some male models?
Like we talked about this last week.
We did talk about this last week. Yeah, and I got
protective
protective of your duck, and I don't want your duck on the internet selling these sweatpants. So like, do we just get some other duck out here and like it obviously they're unisex sweatpants. So I think we need to have some ducks and platypuses and just all of the works, the mix. But here's what I envision it.
Speaking of interviewing process,
Yeah.
how would that go?
Well,
Send your headshots?
No, I feel like it'd just be more like a casting call. Just be like, I want people of all shapes and sizes and ducks and platypuses. Everyone wears sweatpants. And also, it's a known fact that everyone looks better in gray sweatpants.
I don't know if that's a known fact.
That's a known fact. It's a scientific stat.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it. Ow.
Very good. I am going to look. I'm looking forward to all of the light bulb moments, hopefully, that people will continue to have as they realize that everybody else ain't shit. It's okay to love yourself a little bit.
No one is shit. No one
Nobody.
is the shit. Literally, no one is the shit.
I'm not shit. You're the shit.
Thanks, babe. You're the shit too.
No, stop it. Stop. Okay, good. Fine. Anyway, my point is I want people to get out of their own way.
Yeah. You tell them, babe.
I spent about 10 minutes talking.
I cannot believe that I didn't know what we were going to talk about in this podcast. And then I still have more stories that we didn't even touch on.
I mean, realistically, of the 7 things, like we had empathy, which I wanted to chat about. We hit dehumanization. We hit shame.
Okay.
We didn't really get into accountability.
No.
We didn't really get into hireability.
No.
We kind of just like how to get started.
Boobies.
Kind of thing. Boobies. I would really like to take a quick moment to make sure that for the folks that struggle with understanding sarcasm, which is a real thing, we don't mean that, right?
No, we don't mean that. Look at me.
Okay.
I got jobs with no boobies.
Yeah, you got a hell of a lot more money than me, and we have the same size boobies.
We have the same size boobies.
Yeah. Okay, you have bigger boobies than me.
My left one's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wonder if one of my newts is bigger than the other one.
Definitely.
Which one?
Left.
Really?
Yeah. Any other intimate questions you'd like to ask on the podcast?
Is he heavier or just
He's heavier.
girthier?
I don't know. Maybe both. I hate that word.
Oh God, your parents listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyways,
so sorry, Gail. My last point is that I'd like to reiterate: when you know better, you fucking do better. That's my version of Maya Angelou's. When you know better, you do better.
When you know better, you do better.
And the only way you can know better is by believing your fucking self.
And get it your own way.
My soapbox for the fucking month. I would like for all the people that are still here, because those are the people that I actually care about.
I know. Yeah.
Everybody
100%.
else,
Well,
it's not that I don't care. I just hope that you at least, left the audio track on so that way.
It played out for the whole view.
I would like to hear in the comments specific topics, things that we have not talked about. And if you say something we've talked about and you're watching this point, shame. Talk about shame. Shame. I'm holding you accountable. I want to know the things that we have not talked about, or the people that we should bring on, or the topics, or the things, or whatever else that we have not chatted about that you want to hear about, because those are the things we're going to fucking talk about.
Yeah, babe.
Real-time feedback.
Real-time feedback. Let's go.
You already go to bed, aren't you?
Yeah, so ready. Yep.
I'd like to give one more shout out and hello and goodbye to all the folks, our good friends from the Balkans. The Balkans.
The Balkans.
And Latvia, of course.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, but Latvia is part of the Balkans, right? Isn't that what we learned?
I think it's like adjacent.
Oh, fuck. Well, correct us if we're wrong.
It's,
So we probably
I
are.
think it was like Serbia, Croatia.
Greece, I think, is in the Balkans,
We're
right?
going to for sure fuck this up.
Yeah, we're going to fuck this up for sure.
Shout out to everyone in the Balkans and Latvia. And then everybody else, well,
we love you as well.
We love you as well. You're just not on Latvia's level. Have a great fucking morning. Good night. Good afternoon. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.